Hi, I'm Pete Holloway. I'm a retired financial advisor and a retired certified financial planner. And as always, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to On Money. We're going to be talking about what I think is going to be very, very exciting for the Valley. It's going to be an air show at the Wheeling Airport. My guests today are Stephanie Hockenberry. She's the Growth and Retention Manager for the Ohio County Development Authority, and Kevin Price, who's the Chief Development Officer for Aviation for the Regional Economic Partnership. And again, I want to thank you both for being here. Well, let's get the important stuff. What's the date and what are the times of the air show?
The date is August 24th of 2024. It's a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a long weekend event for a bunch of behind the scenes stuff, but the actual public event is August 24th, 2024, and that's a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We plan to open the gates at 10 a.m. to allow the public to start coming in and starting, to file in and see the different displays and things of that nature. The air show piece of this will kick off at noon. And it will start with the West Virginia Skydivers Association. We'll be doing an exhibition jump into the airport with a large American flag.
That's super. There are two kinds of displays that happen at an air show. One is the quote static, and the other is the flying. What does static mean? And tell us about what's coming and will be on the ground for people to walk up and touch and maybe even get aboard.
Sure. We've got a great lineup of both of those things. The static pieces are changing a little bit daily based off of some military availability. But we're going to have a great display of static events, which means stationary events for the public to be able to get up close to, take tours of, get in, see, and those kinds of things. We've got a C-17, which is a large cargo aircraft, coming out of Martinsburg, West Virginia with the Air National Guard. We've got a C-130 coming from the Charleston unit with the West Virginia Air National Guard. We've got a KC-135 refueling tanker, which is another very large military aircraft coming out of Pittsburgh. Those three aircraft are very impressive in any environment that you put them in. But when you put them in an area the size of our airport, they will be that much more impressive. They're very towering, very imposing because of their size. We've also got on the military side, we've got some Black Hawk helicopters that will be there that the public will be able to get up close to. Kids will be able to get in, take photos, those kinds of things. We've got a pair of A-10 Warthogs that are coming in out of Maryland that'll be on static display. And then we've got a few other military assets that are not only a little bit of a surprise that we'd like to keep out there for everybody, but we're also waiting to get final confirmation on them due to their training schedules.
One of the planes from Martinsburg was at the airport the other day, and I
Yes,
saw
sir.
I saw on Facebook a couple of people saying, "What is that, and why is it so low?" Well,
Yeah,
they'll be seeing it.
exactly.
Now, Stephanie, let's talk to you. This is a county event. What kinds of things do you see this doing for the county?
I think it's going to, first and foremost, create excitement around the aviation projects
Mhm.
that are going on up there with West Liberty and Marshall. Kevin and the team up there have been working really hard to get that moving and ready for the fall. And I think it's just going to get people excited about all of the development that's actually happening in the county. They'll be able to see, the construction that's been going on. I'm pretty sure some of the Marshall planes will be there. Is that right, Kevin?
That's correct.
And so I think it's going to get people excited for the future of what's to come in aviation in Ohio County. And then I think, on the other side, you're going to have a lot of vendors up there just excited about family and community and really showcasing what this valley is really all about.
How is the Marshall program doing? I understand that the slots for the this fall are getting filled up pretty quickly.
They are, Pete. I don't have the exact number. Last time we talked about student enrollment, they had 8 students enrolling in various processes or various stages of the process. I don't know what the exact numbers are now, but I know they've had great interest in it. And as Stephanie mentioned earlier, Marshall and West Liberty will have a joint setup to promote the aviation program at the airport at the air show. Marshall's bringing up several of the aircraft, and it'll be a great event from that standpoint too, because Marshall will have and West Liberty will have their informational folks there. You can find out how you enroll, what it takes, what scholarship opportunities are available, and so on through that program.
Yeah, I hope people will take a trip up to the airport. The airport itself is a wonderful historical museum. If nobody's been there, there's some really, really neat displays. I'm not just saying that. And the classroom there is, last time I was there, was coming along pretty well. So that's exciting stuff. Now we have to talk logistics. Everybody in the county is saying, well, that sounds really cool, except the only way I can get there is through Beach Bottom or Apple Pie Ridge Road or Gertie's Run Road, and those are pretty much dirt roads. How are you going to handle a big crowd, the parking, and getting people on site and off site?
The majority of the parking will be satellite parking. We're finalizing securing some large satellite parking lots, parking areas within a 10-minute drive of the airport. And how we're going to
You're
handle that
talking
is
farmers fields and things like that.
some of that, yes, but also places like I believe it's called Hone and Son Trucking, where the old drive-in movie theater used to be. We're
Right
going to
on
use
Route
the
2,
property.
yeah.
The industrial park at Beach Bottom is going to be utilized as parking, and we're contracting with the Ohio County school buses and the Ohio County schools to run our shuttle system for us. I did this at an event when I was in Charleston a few years ago, and it worked really well. And the intention is to have a bus every 15 minutes at all of these locations, rotating all day long. We don't want people to feel like if they park remotely that they're trapped at the event, they can't leave or they can't come and go, those kinds of things. So these shuttles running every 15 minutes to all of these satellite parking locations, we believe will work very well.
I think people should be advised not to try to get to the airport because
Correct.
there's not going to be that much room. Those planes are going to take up a lot of space, the static displays, and the rest will be where people are standing. So just ride the school bus, give yourself a little extra time, make sure the kids are okay on that, and then bring them up.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, that's a good point, Pete. The general public will not be able to will not be able to get onto airport proper the day of the show. We're finalizing some arrangements for people with disabilities or special needs to have a drop-off area or to have some limited parking for that up there. But the remote satellite parking areas that we're working on, again, we think will work very well, and that will be very well advertised once everything is completely finalized. It will also be very well marked. We're going to use temporary signage at these lots. We'll push things out on social media, regular media, and things like that, showing mapping locations of where everything is. And just to point out too, you won't you won't be left on your own at the satellite parking areas. We're putting together a volunteer team that will be working the areas to help keep things organized, to keep people from being blocked in or parking in areas of these lots that they shouldn't park in.
Yeah, I really want to commend you and your team. I had wanted to hear what was going on and went to about one of your last meetings and was stunned by what y'all have come up with, and the amount of work must have been intense. Stephanie, tell us about the food trucks and what kinds of things will be coming in so that people will have refreshments and so forth.
Sure. So one of our committee members, Joe Young, has been working really hard with these food trucks and vendors. We have Kirk's Ice Cream. We have Holy Rollers Donuts, So Nuts for Donuts. We have Dickie's Barbecue, Leonardo's, Fowler Farms, Kona Ice. So lots of food truck vendors, so no one will go hungry. And then we're going to have some craft vendors as well. So some local woodworking, jewelry, different kinds of crafts, fudge, you name it, whatever you can think of. I think we're getting some additional excitement around that. And so people are still signing up, still can sign up if they're interested. So I think what we're going to have is just something for everyone. And in addition, we'll have balloon fun for kids. We will have face painting. There's wall climbing. One of the recruiting groups for the military will be bringing, or is that the veteran group? One of them is bringing a wall climbing, exciting, fun event for families and kids. So I think what you're going to see is just a little bit of everything for everyone. And then also, thanks to you, we'll have the symphony, we'll have a jazz ensemble trio inside what I call the museum, but everyone at the airport calls the terminal. So that will be at lunchtime. And so that should be exciting, give a little bit of extra ambiance inside, and let people kind of walk around and see all of the great history that you were talking about a little while ago.
Yeah, that anyway, I cannot say enough nice things about the terminal. And people have another. It's not a good day to drive up there, obviously that day, but to go up another day and just walk through and see what's going on. Car show. Is there going to be a car show this year?
There will be. We've got Rusty Eskew, who's the airport manager, is working on that piece of the event for us. There's another large car show in the area that day, but we think that we're still going to have a significant interest in some of the vintage automobiles. And along with that, too, on the bringing up the vintage automobiles, we're going to have a nice display of vintage aircraft there as well. Air Heritage Museum is bringing in some really nice World War II era aircraft that will be on display, as well as flying exhibitions for the event. And then, along the line of the hot rod enthusiast, one of the performance teams that'll be performing at the event is a group called the Full Throttle Air Show Team. And they are high performance single engine propeller driven aircraft that are aerial stunt performers. We have another group along the hot rod side coming in that is the Pitts Aerobatic Team. This is a bi-wing airplane that can, as far as I'm concerned, I've had them at 2 previous events, and as far as I'm concerned, these guys defy the laws of physics with what they can do with this airplane. It's a very entertaining show to watch.
Well, the Pitts itself is so aerobatic and can, you're going to see loop spins and a few other things that'll probably make you scream. Let's go through it one more time. I wanted to ask one other question, you have an air boss coming. What does that mean?
Our air boss is the professional who helps us not only run the event and secure the aerial assets that are coming in for the thing. The air boss will be controlling the airspace during the event. He acts as the air traffic controller, if you will. We have air traffic control at our airport, and he will work hand in glove with them through this event. But he kind of runs the show as far as the performers go. He provides the announcers. There's some great commentary that follow along with some of these aerial performances to talk about some of these things. And that's really his role. He's a professional company. It's David Schultz Air Shows is the company who's coming in to do this for us. They do this all over the country. The weekend before our air show, they're doing a show in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. The weekend after, they're doing Dayton, Ohio. He does. I forgot the exact number, Pete, but it's something like 60 shows a year. It's a bunch.
And just for people, because people are going to be thinking this, first of all, no one should fly in. The airspace, right. The airport airspace will be closed, correct?
Well, not closed exactly. We still have to operate as a functioning airport during the event. There will be what is referred to as TFRs, temporary flight restrictions, for the event. But if we have the normal course of business that needs to come in that day, we have people that travel in and out of the airport every day, whether for recreation or for business needs. We've made accommodations for them. They will be able to get in and out of the airport. It's just it may take approach a few minutes longer, things like that, but we will be accommodating them for the show.
Great. Well, let's recap. Stephanie, first of all, could you go over the food vendors and that kind of thing that people will be looking forward to?
Sure. Anything that you can think of. We're going to have barbecue, donuts, ice cream. We will have lots of vendors for crafting and fudge. Anything that people might want to, look at, buy, eat. Get ready for a festival fun-filled day for the family. We will also have some fun, exciting things for the kids. Melissa, Marco, and myself have been trying to make sure that there's plenty of things to do for the little ones, right? Get them excited about aviation. There's a lot that this airport and this air show can offer the community and the families, but also getting them thinking about their futures and what this might mean for them, as they grow older. So excited about that, excited about the military presence that we'll have, the veteran presence that we're going to have, and just, making sure that all the families can have a good time.
That's terrific. And Kevin, can you again just give us a quick recap of some of the kinds of acts and static displays that will be
Sure.
available at the airport?
Well, again, and some of the things that I didn't mention when we talked about it the first time, but we've got the Full Throttle Air Show team coming in, the Pitts Aerobatic team coming in with aerial displays. We've got a set of Navy T6 trainers that are coming in for an aerial performance as well as static display. The West Virginia skydivers are coming in for the event. And then we've got some large military assets for static display that people will be able to walk up on and tour with the C-17, the C-130, the KC-135 out of Pittsburgh, the Black Hawk helicopters, those kinds of things. And one that I didn't mention earlier that's going to be part of the show is we've got an RC flying club that's coming in with a bunch of really nice RC models that aren't drones. They're traditional
RC means radio control.
Radio controlled aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
Smaller scale aircraft that'll be doing an exhibition with those as well. And then one of the things too that a little bit of breaking news on some of the vendor side of stuff. I just got confirmation this morning. Chick-fil-A will also be there as part of the food vendors doing a food trailer for the public.
That's great. And again, the times and dates?
The time is August 24th. It's a Saturday. Gates will open at right about 10 a.m. We'll have that time locked down here in the next day or two as advertisements start to come out. The show will run through 5 o'clock. The actual air show will start at noon. And it's a one-day event. It's Saturday. That being said, I would also like everyone to know that Friday, the day that we set up, the aerial acts do their practice runs, we get static displays and things like that set up. The public will see not only the acts practicing at the airport in the airport airspace proper, but don't be surprised if you see some things over downtown Wheeling, trailing smoke and building some buzz for the event.
You better warn the populace.
Absolutely, we will.
Well, this is really exciting. It's been a while since we've had an air show, and this far surpasses anything that's ever happened up there, at least within my memory. Thank you for all your hard work, Kevin and Stephanie, and we'll be looking forward to the air show. I'm Pete Holloway. We'll be seeing you next week.
From humble beginnings in 1837, West Liberty University has been home to thousands of students. Whether you're a recent high school graduate or looking to complete a college degree later in life, starting your educational career at West Liberty University will be the catalyst for your future. This is a place where you will discover who you are and where you belong.